do you not see that, Hunter Avallone? You just said I'm a piece. You better make me clap like a gay guy, man. You said that I'm a piece of shit and I'm shallow for wanting to bad bitches who look good. And the bitches who want to bad alpha males are shallow pieces of shit, and you're on a moral high ground because I want to talk about their personality. You just said I'm a piece of shit! You just saved me! Do you see it?
He's so lost right now.
Do you see it?
He's freaking the out.
Very obviously, Hunter, you gotta be honest. Everyone at this table has probably twice the amount of testosterone as you.
That's pretty embarrassing that they apparently have twice the amount of testosterone as me, but are still incapable of even forming one coherent argument. That's embarrassing. So is it like more testosterone makes you more likely to be a caveman? Is that it? Sneako made a video about you? Did Sneako make a video about me?
The ultimate fresh and fit takedown. Let's watch a little bit of it.
This is obviously why I was getting bombarded with more hate comments. Oh, this is fucking rich. So for those of you who don't know, Sneako is like the 7-Eleven version of Andrew Tate. And now apparently he's going to talk about how I'm actually a soy boy. I cannot wait to hear this. Let's go.
Men that are bosses want a woman that's submissive and gonna follow their program. There can't be two bosses.
If you as a man need a woman as your partner who is submissive and just goes along with whatever you say.
If you need a submissive woman?
You're not an alpha. You're not a high value man. You're an insecure little fucking bitch.
You see how you could always just tell what the fuck someone thinks by the way they look?
Who has convinced himself. No, actually, Sneako, you can't. You have to understand that that's a really bad mentality to have, right? And do you realize that that mentality would justify racism? Do you realize that? You can always tell what people think based on how they look? No. Holy shit, instantly, 30 seconds in, we have the fucking Neanderthal level take here. That you're an alpha male. You're a beta's view of an alpha male.
Talking to other people, being attractive, or even women put their looks forward.
Okay, first of all, maybe for some women, but again, this doesn't speak for all women. And it's almost a vicious cycle because it's like you have a really shallow view of women, and so the type of women you attract are shallow women.
Hey, it's mini Destiny, bro. But more soy.
And then those shallow women further he reminds me of another guy I once saw. Roasted. Well, I guess I did call him mini Andrew Tate, so maybe we're even here. View that women are shallow. And
it's not shallow to be beautiful. If you want to date an ugly bitch that's talking a lot, go ahead. But most guys don't.
Wait, so you just changed your original argument? You didn't say that, Sneako. You fucking degenerate. You said that women put their looks first and forward. You were describing women as being shallow because they care primarily about their looks. This was also within the context of you saying that if you ask women what they would rate themselves, they would all say they're a 10 or 100 or they're perfect and can do no wrong. It's a vicious... Yes, I would debate Sneako, absolutely. The guy can't even listen to the words I'm saying and then accurately interpret them enough so to give a decent response. Cycle. You're a shallow piece of shit.
I'm a shallow piece of shit.
Based.
Hunter Avallone.
Based.
Yo, if you more alpha than me, yo, pull up, bro. If you more alpha, bro, what's up, bro?
Hell yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, let's go, man. Throw down. All right, you pull up in your fucking Bugatti. I'll pull up in my goddamn minivan. We'll see who wins that fight. I am ready to fight. Not me personally, but I will pay somebody else to do it for me.
You're talking a lot of smack.
So you attract other shallow pieces of shit.
Based. Bro, what?
This isn't speaking for all women. The fact that these are the only types of women you've engaged with is arguably a fat L for you.
That I want to fuck with bad bitches?
That's not what you said. Do we want to go back and listen to the actual clip that he said, before the thing he said? Now, Fresh and Fit is a podcast ran by two dudes. I guess one guy is named Fresh and the other is named Fit.
Hey, you figured it out. He's going to debunk it, but can we just be honest? Would you rather have Fresh and Fit talk about men's issues or this guy? 1 for Fresh and Fit, 2 for this guy. It's just that simple. This is a 52-minute video.
Oh no, his chat. Surely his audience will think that they would rather take advice from me, right? Oh.
What do you think? Hunter Avallone, you're going to watch this. It's really, just look at you. Would you rather 1, Fresh and Fit, or 2, this guy? And my audience isn't biased. A lot of them criticize Fresh and Fit. It's just, or someone like...
usually it's that I don't choose who I'm going to take advice from based on their appearance, you know? I don't think he understands how bad that logic could go. How far you could extend that. Do you understand what what would happen here? Like, if you're going to judge people or determine whether or not you're going to take their advice or even listen to what they have to say honestly, based on nothing but their appearance, then that is just stupid. Not only is that just a bad way to go about analyzing another person's opinion, but it also, like I said, can justify racism. How long then until, you don't want to take the black guy's opinion seriously because, well, you kind of look like you could have stolen something. Like, it's literally just one step away from that type of mentality. You don't judge the validity of someone else's opinion based on their appearance. If you want to roast how I look, fine. Like, I don't really care. If you're going to roast my appearance as an argument in response to the actual things I'm saying, then you're taking a fat L.
Andrew Tate, or someone like me. Should we talk about men's issues, or you?
There's hundreds of thousands of views. I don't think it matters what you look like, whether or not you should talk about men's issues. I think it matters as to what you're saying. And if you're saying that women are mainly pretty shallow and that women always rate themselves 100 or 10, and then when we look up statistics that show that women are literally in every Western country far more likely to be insecure and have lower self-esteem than men, then that's what should matter. It should matter the truth behind what we are saying, not what we look like. I mean, by this logic, then, you could just get somebody that looks tough enough or cool enough to the Sneako audience, and then they could just say anything, and they would just buy right into it, because it's like, well, at least he looks like a gym bro, and have it this way, or it's really hard for guys here, but then all of a sudden, it usually boils down to women bad. Now, I could be wrong.
No, you don't get it.
Really?
We love women. Chat, put a W if we love women. We love women. I want to be in a relationship with them.
Guys, come on, yo. His chat likes women, okay? Sneako doesn't have a problem with women, guys. His chat typed W. Come on. So far, like, I know we're only 4 minutes in, but degree of big brain analysis so far is just incredible to me.
I want to buy them shit. I want to get some, I mean? We love women, but they're being brainwashed by guys like you because you, Hunter Avallone, think that you know anything about this subject, and this is what gets pushed on YouTube, and I'm here talking about it on Rumble.
What are you even implying? Like, do you think you got banned off of YouTube because you were just talking about dating or giving advice to men? You obviously were doing more than that. Not to mention you were buying into all the nonsense that fucking Nick Fuentes. Also, you're bringing up Fresh and Fit. Fresh and Fit is the largest red pill channel on YouTube right now. Red pill content doesn't just get banned on YouTube, okay? Clearly you did something more. Struggling for men, women bad. We have several different videos, short
Brainwashing bad. Women are great.
little clips here that we are going to go over today by Fresh and Fit. And I think the first one we'll start with is the truth about the war on masculinity.
Tristan, why does mainstream society work so hard to shame guys for doing what they wanted?
Bro, we were in Bucharest, bro. Myron smoked way too... Bro, Myron's a cop, so he's not used to smoking weed. And he was talking like this the whole podcast. And right after this, Tristan got super sick. I don't know what the hell was in the
Dude, their natural instinct. We don't shame women for being hypergamous and picking the best guys. Why?
You know what? I think it's...
So even at the beginning here, this clip, we have a presupposition that's completely unfounded. Why is society so set on shaming guys for doing what they want?
You're exactly doing that. You just did that! How do you not see that, Hunter Avallone? You just said, I'm a piece... You better make me clap like a fucking gay guy, man. Bombaka! You said that I'm a piece of shit, and I'm shallow for wanting to fuck bad bitches who look good. And the bitches who want to fuck bad alpha males are shallow pieces of shit, and you're on a moral high ground because I want to talk about their personality. You fucking dummy. You just proved his point.
Wait, you realize I'm not done yet with what I'm saying. Yeah, okay, wait. Sometimes society might shame men for doing what they want to do if that man, say, wants to go out and murder and rape people. You are unhinged, Sneako. Did your brain Sneako out of your fucking skull? Men can do what they want. Usually it's you people that are—
You just said I'm a piece of shit!
Are shaming women for doing what they want, if what they want to do—
You just saved me! Do you see it?
He's so lost right now.
Do you see it?
He's freaking the fuck out. I never said he can't do what he wants to do. I said that you describing women as just caring about their looks implies and demonstrates a degree of shallowness. And if you are shallow and your views of women are shallow, you're going to attract other shallow people. That was an insight. That wasn't me saying you can't do this. Who am I to tell you not to be shallow, okay? That seems to be a fucking intrinsic quality of yours. So no, I would never want to be that bigoted, okay? Do is pursue a career. So already I'm confused, but—
Women don't want to pursue a career, dummy. Women want to be the nurturer. Women want to raise a family. They want to be at home.
Now he's doing it again. First and foremost, I never said that you're a piece of shit and that means you can't do what you want to do. You can do whatever you want. I can do whatever I want, which includes calling you a shallow piece of shit. So that's the first thing. Second of all, no, actually, not all women want to be the nurturers at home. Okay, I've been doing research into this subject extensively, and I can tell you it's a fucking fact that stay-at-home moms have higher rates of depression. It is a fucking fact that when you take female caregivers and you compare them to male caregivers, the female caregivers experience higher rates of sadness and negative emotions. They're the natural baby lovers. Why are they feeling more depressed when they're put in those positions? No, not all women want to just be at home and the nurturer. You're lying right now. And it's even more cringe that you're trying to speak for what you think women want. My opinion is people should live the lives they want to live so long as it's not hurting other people, okay? If you have a woman who wants to be barefoot, pregnant, trad wife, if that's what she wants to do, fine. That is based in red pilled, not because being at home with the kids is based in red pilled, but because doing what you fucking want with your life is based and red pilled. That's the key here. So if a woman wants to be at home with the kids, being nurturing all the time, cool, go for it. But if a woman wants to pursue a career, cool, go for it. And it is you people that shame women for pursuing what they want to do.
They don't want to be mechanics. They don't want to be plumbers. They don't want to be in an army.
So women don't want to be in the army, but women enlist in the army? I don't know. Like, yeah, sure. Not all women want to be in the army. Not all men want to be in the army either. I forgot, guys. You know what? I'm sorry. I'm clearly out of line. I forgot that since I have a penis, I also have the military gene. You know, it just makes me naturally good at driving a fucking tank.
This is why I ban on every platform and this shit runs wild.
Destroying the masculinity of men is very important if you want to have a society where you can easily control everybody. I think it's the reason.
That's why I'm deleted. That's why Andrew's deleted. And that's why this dude thinks he knows about men's issues. Because they want us to all be controlled and weak and bumbucker.
Getting rid of masculinity is easy for controlling society. Right off the bat, he is implying that something or someone or some entity or cabal is working together to get rid of masculinity.
It's worked. It's working.
But who?
How are you not looking in the viewfinder of your camera and not seeing how it's working? This podcast.
So far, all he said is like, bro, it's obvious.
The podcast that Fresh and Fit did with Andrew and Bucharest got removed. I got deleted when I was here.
So they can control the masses. Masculinity in and of itself is a social construct.
What? Masculinity is a social construct?
I like how this is just Sneako losing his mind at the most obviously true things that I am saying. This is fucking adorable. He's actually like melting down into a triggered puddle of soy right now over me stating a fact. Sneako, yes or no, has the concept of masculinity changed throughout history? Has it? Yes or no? Has masculinity at one point been encompassing of having a small penis? Is that a historical fact? The answer is yes. Okay, cool. Is masculinity still encompassing having a small dick? No. Masculinity at one point included men wearing high heels because it was masculine to be tall. You could argue it still is masculine to be tall, but men would wear high heels to achieve that sense of masculinity. Is that still a part of masculinity today? No. Masculinity has changed throughout time, and it has changed based on society. So it's a social construct, you fucking dipshit. This is not hard to understand, but like I said, when you have nearly a troglodyte brain, I don't expect you to understand these basic and obvious concepts. I also really like too, by the way, that like his arguments thus far have been, it's obvious, bro. How do you not look around, bro? But yet when I state something that actually is arguably obvious, bro, he just can't even fathom it. It's like, hey, Sneako, did you know the sky is blue and the grass is green? What? But alpha over here, guys. Okay. So far we have alpha male crumbling at basic factual information.
10 push-ups right now.
He's stunned.
10 push-ups right now so that we don't end up like this, bro.
He's stunned. 10 push. This is like the most try-hard bullshit I've ever seen. Hey guys, can I show you my video of me doing some chin-ups? Buckle in, this one's a big one. Hey, at least I'm encouraging healthy lifestyles, okay? That's great. Although on the flip side, that might mean that Sneako has a chance of living longer, which, I don't know. Take that as you will. Also, I like how all the comments in his chat are just like F-slur and saying I look dumb. It's like, I had no idea that looking dumb meant your argument was incorrect. We, as a society, have determined what behavior we are going to consider masculine and what we aren't.
Hunter Avallone, you're watching this. Do you genuinely think that you're a masculine individual? I'm never calling myself an alpha.
No, I don't. I don't think that I'm a particularly masculine individual. The fact that you think what I'm saying is that I am, he is genuinely demonstrating where his headspace is. He can't fathom having these types of conversations without it being rooted in a defense of his own ego. For him, when he makes this content, he is interested in conveying himself as the alpha male. Even if he's not saying he's alpha, he's interested in conveying himself as the masculine man. That's why at the beginning he said, "Who would you rather take dating advice from, huh?" He is interested in defending himself. He has a fragile ego and a fragile masculinity. Me, on the other hand, I never said that I was super masculine. I am not super masculine. I'm a little fucking skinny white twink on YouTube and Twitch. No, I'm not particularly masculine. Nowhere did I imply that I was masculine. I stated a objectively true fact, which is that masculinity is socially constructed. And you literally cannot deny that if you have enough brain cells to recognize that masculinity has changed over time and from society to society. Masculinity changing is not the result of some evil cabal or some woke elites or whatever trying to erode the masculinity.
That's exactly what it is.
That's not how this works. So
It's working.
that's exactly what it is. The woke cabal. I like how I said that almost to be hyperbolic and mock the opposition, and Sneako's just like, yeah, he's right. The woke cabal. Oh my God. Who is doing this and who's benefiting and who's trying to take over society by getting rid of the big masculine guys?
Why?
The big tech elites that have all the money, all the power, and control all information, all the media right now. You're seeing it happening right now.
Wait, but how does getting rid of masculinity help them achieve that at all? Mark Zuckerberg wants men to be less masculine so that they can control them on Facebook? What? I don't think this guy has any understanding of what words mean. I'm actually surprised how fucking stupid he is. Signals. Let me see what he says to this. I'm really curious. Let's hear what he says when I point out how this is signaling to the JQ. Sometimes they just go right past you. You don't even notice it, but like the people in charge of the world.
The people who have all the money. Do we gotta spell it out for you? The people who control information.
How do they
run
control
shit,
information?
Who make all the decisions and decide that.
Yeah, yes, that's what I'm talking about, Sneako. Who are those people? How are they running everything? You are implying there is a shadowy cabal of rich people that control the world. Who are those people? You've had a few chats with Nick Fuentes, right? Maybe you have a couple ideas? And look, even his chat saying Goyim. Huh, interesting.
I can talk about this now. I'm not on YouTube. The World Economic Forum, the globalist agenda, people behind the scenes who control the money and treat the government officials like
The World Economic Forum? Okay.
people with all the money. Make all the decisions, pull all the strings. It's not that fucking complicated, bro.
Do we get to vote? What? What do you mean they pull all the strings? Like, who is who? And how? Where's your evidence for this? It sounds like you're just signaling to some kind of, again, a shadowy cabal. You don't even know what you're talking about. Who? Is it Bezos? Is Bezos secretly controlling everything? Is he the real president? Is he the one making all the decisions? You can make an argument that corporations with a lot of money have more money to spend on lobbying efforts, so they might have an unfair influence over certain government decisions simply because they have more money and can invest more in the act of lobbying. You could make that argument, but that's way different than the shadowy cabal that's controlling everything. One is like something you can point to empirically. The other is just a conspiracy. It's a scary fucking bedtime story that you've told yourself because, again, like all of these red pill ideas, it's lazy. And it's far easier to just point the finger at some kind of nebulous, vague sort of people controlling the world, the spooky, cabal, woke, this, that, and the other thing. That's easier to do, to just point the finger rather than assess the situation from a perspective of nuance, which is what is needed to accurately understand these concepts. They're not people that are controlling the world. Rich people don't control the world secretly. You can talk again about undue influence with lobbying, but that's not the same thing.
Oh, they rigged the election. I'm so glad I'm on Rumble. I can say that. You gotta vote, and then they rigged the election in 2020 for Biden.
I didn't realize that taking the red pill meant taking infinite stupid pills. I had no idea. I kind of wish that, like, I had this degree of ignorance. Doesn't it look so blissful? Why did General Barr not even find any evidence of election interference? Why was the only reported case of somebody being arrested for voting twice was a Republican who voted 2 times, once under his name, once under his mother's name, to vote for Donald Trump? Where is the evidence that the election was stolen? Or are you just once again clinging on to this fucking bullshit bedtime story so Donald J. Trump nominates this guy, Attorney General William Barr? And the guy that Trump nominated has come out and said that the US Department of Justice conducted an investigation and found no evidence of widespread voter fraud that would be substantial enough to sway an election. So just to get this clear, Donald Trump put this guy here, and then this guy says, hey, there's no voter fraud. Now, Pepperidge Farm remembers when Donald Trump touted himself as surrounding himself with the best people. Remember when Donald Trump said he's not an expert on everything, but he's going to surround himself with the best people who know what they're doing. So I'm going to trust Trump's word there, and he has decided to surround himself with the best people. One of the best people being William Barr has now come out and said, no, there was no election fraud. So I'm sorry, Sneako. I'm sorry, MAGA cucks. You're going to have to suck it up. There was no voter fraud, not even according to Donald Trump's own guy. But again, since Sneako believes this bullshit, he will just say, well, the people in charge wouldn't let them explain that the election was stolen, or the people in charge are running the Justice Department, because he would always have a way to weasel out of any type of evidence that he's wrong because he believes in this grand conspiracy.
You get a vote, and then they keep us all inside, and they take a booster shot. Hunter Avallone.
Wait, yes, we had to have lockdowns when the pandemic was starting. That was actually pretty important. It sucked the way that it fucked the economy and small businesses. But again, people always treat this issue of lockdowns as if there was like, do we lock down or do we just let everything continue moving along happily? We were stuck with 2 shitty options, which was either do we lock down everything and fuck over the economy, or do we let the coronavirus spread even more rapidly?
Your booster shot it up. I guarantee you.
Actually, you know what? Want to hear a secret, guys? I'm not actually boosted. I knew that the first 2 vaccines were safe, but I had a pretty strong feeling that the third one, the booster, was going to be the one that gave me the microchip. Not to mention, after the last one I got, something really weird happened too, and like just a wacky side effect. So like I got it, and I hear people talk about how like Bill Gates is somehow behind this or something, and I got the vaccine, and suddenly I was starting to have like rapid heartbeat, and at the same time, this almost uncontrollable urge to just download Windows Internet Explorer and then set it as my default browser. It was bizarre. I was like almost unable to even control it. I don't understand who is in charge of the world and how getting rid of masculinity is somehow going to make it easier for them to take control.
What is harder? Like, if you have powerful, strong men, then they can test the powers that be. If they don't, if they got people like you'll listen to whatever the fuck they say.
Taxes.
What do you mean test the powers that will? Like because they're strong, they're going to go outside and test the powers? I mean, even the way that you test the powers that will usually involves protesting. Usually involves using your voice. It usually involves a movement of some sort. There might be like some physicality involved there, I guess, but like the major movements we've seen in the past, like if we want to think about, I don't know, like MLK, he was testing power at the time. He used his voice. He used rhetoric. Like that's how this is usually done. So I don't even know why being super buff or being a masculine man would be that relevant here. Again, so much of this red pill commentary.
In a feminist world, the woman feels like she's the prize and she doesn't have to care for her man.
It sounds like it's just coming from guys who had, the woman feels like she's the prize and doesn't have to care for the man. That sounds like a shallow view of women. Remember what I said at the beginning when you fucking freaked out? A really bad breakup in high school?
This is what they say every single time. Toxic, problematic, insecure, gay. Oh, you just went through a breakup, but so now you're spitting red pill? Pay attention to the same tactics they all use, bro.
Maybe the fact that like virtually everybody that listens to this has the same impression demonstrates something.
Making money through programs like.
You know what's funny? It's not like these guys went through a bad breakup. I was there in Bucharest with them. Bro, all 3 of these guys right here, except for this dude over here, get bitches. And I want to put it on record because I even had personal friends of mine be like, yo, Fresh doesn't get bitches. Fresh gets bitches. Tristan has like 20 girlfriends on command. It's incredible to look at. They're in love with him. Myron, I know he's hard hitting, and sometimes it doesn't seem like he could be.
I really don't like this mentality either, because it's like you guys complain about women being shallow and only going for the chads or whatever, but yet you are also playing into that shallow behavior, and it becomes a vicious cycle. What do you mean he has 20 girlfriends on command whenever he wants? You realize that women are not just a trophy or a prize to obtain to boost your ego. That's not why they are here. Now, if a woman wants to be one of your 20 girlfriends, fine, that's her loss. This view of women is just not true. It's wrong. It's misled. Some women can be shallow losers. Yes, that's true. Some men can be shallow losers, but some women can be really substantive, and some men can be really substantive. This essentializing people does nothing but make society, and particularly the general dating scene, worse. You're making it even harder out there for guys, because you're propagating an idea that men are these shallow pricks who just want to obtain women like they're just big trophies to show off. And I'm sorry, but if that's how you see women, then don't get mad when the types of women you interact with are shallow.
Have a personality that's comfortable for women off camera. On camera, on Fresh and Fit, facts. Does not compromise for nothing. He's very anti-simping. Gets bitches, bro. Myron's got like 5-6 girlfriends that I've seen. I don't know how many he has. I don't want to go talk about his business. All of them get bitches.
I like how the chat's like, his liberal wife is wearing the pants. Listen, okay? Just if my wife pegs me every night doesn't mean that I'm not an alpha male. The people that rule the world, and now they all have one cohesive agenda?
Yes, to hoard all the power while we become peasants and weaker, and men become women and women become men. It's very...
They want to make us weaker and hold power, and that's why trans people... This is what I mean with this just being incoherent. It's incoherent bullshit. I don't even think Sneako has a fully fleshed out idea of what he means. I think that he just thinks there's this nebulous cabal, and then there's the trans people, and people get banned from YouTube, so this is all connected because spooky cabal. Like, I don't think he actually knows what he's even getting at. I don't even think he has an understanding of his own argument or what he's even alleging here. He's like a lost little lamb, just bawing for the shepherd.
So everyone within this lifestyle is very happy. And to convince people that it's somehow bad is just a way of creating more slaves.
Exactly. This is what he's doing right here. And I'm telling you, Tristan, Andrew, and even, bro, it's Fresh, and I spend more time going out with Fresh than I have with Myron. Fresh, he doesn't ever have a bad day. Fresh is always chilling. New bitch every 2-3 days. Always a big booty.
Why do these alpha males who are all about the bitches always seem to be sucking each other off? It's kind of weird. Degenerate.
Latina, some white women
Gay.
too. Always some bad bitch that he gets on Instagram. Goes to the mall, goes to the gym, plays some tennis, lays by the pool, doesn't care. One of the most happy-go-lucky guys I've ever seen. Doesn't care, bro. He doesn't ever get upset. I don't think, bro, he's one of those guys, I don't think Fresh has cried in the past 2 years. I think he hasn't cried. And not even like one of the guys, I've never cried. I don't think Fresh has cried since the Obama administration. Tristan, Andrew are living the life, bro.
I like that too, how it's like they haven't cried in a long time. You realize that all available research demonstrates that the suppression of emotion is really detrimental for your mental well-being, right? Like, that's not actually good, because men and women both experience very similar degrees of emotion. Men and women just express those feelings differently. So if you're saying this guy's never cried, then I don't know how that would be possible unless there was some degree of suppressing emotion.
Doesn't care, bro. He doesn't ever get upset. I don't think, bro, he's one of those guys, I don't think Fresh has cried in the past 2 years. I think he hasn't cried. And not even like one of the guys, I've never cried. I don't think Fresh has cried since the Obama administration. Tristan, Andrew are living the life, bro. And if you spend time with them like I spent time with them, you'd be like, yo, I could learn a thing or two. You guys are, I want the private jet. I want the Bugatti. I want to go to the club and get the biggest section. I want to eat at the best restaurants 3 times a day. I want to have a personal assistant drive my car to the front of the crib when I step outside. Bro.
What you're saying right now is that you want to be rich. Like, yeah, most people would like to be rich. I would like to be rich. What does this have to do with being a masculine, manly man and taking the red pill. Like, yeah, yes, who would have thought that Americans in general desire to be wealthy? What? Hit that bong again, dude. So it's masculine and red pilled to be the provider, but if you're being the provider via flipping burgers, then not good?
Oh god, I can't listen to his voice anymore. I'm about to click on this video. But you see why he believes in this stuff. You can hear in his voice that I'm flipping burgers, but now you took the prick. That's why you believe in this stuff, Hunter. You need to understand.
I love this. I love how there's like no rebuttal and he's getting frustrated, so he's clearly not going to watch the whole video. And so all he does is make fun of my voice. Man, he got me, dude. My voice sounds funny. I guess that means my argument is wrong?
That you can really break down this stuff to what somebody looks like, their testosterone or their estrogen levels, to why somebody believes what they believe.
Yup.
I can see through a lot of the bullshit. But very obviously, Hunter, you gotta be honest, everyone at this table has probably twice the amount of testosterone as you. That's why they can see.
That's pretty embarrassing that they apparently have twice the amount of testosterone as me, but are still incapable of even forming one coherent argument. That's embarrassing. So is it like more testosterone makes you more likely to be a caveman? Is that it?
The bullshit. That's why they believe in traditional masculinity and you don't. Comparatively, you're a soy boy little bitch.
You're the soy boy little bitch. Unironically, getting up here, you've thrown a tantrum. We just watched you throw a little tantrum. You looked like the child at Toys R Us after mommy said no, you can't get the new Bionicle. You've done nothing. You've provided no insight. You've made fun of my appearance and my voice, which you're entitled to that opinion, okay? You can make fun of how I look and how I talk. I don't care. That doesn't bother me. But the truth of the matter is, no matter how funny I look or how goofy I sound, that does not have anything to do with whether or not my arguments are sound.
Try to respond to that. You very clearly have less testosterone than all three of these guys sitting at the table. That's why you think what you think and they think what they think. It really just boils down to your genetic makeup.
Cool and everything else like that. But I mean, let's be honest here. You're not looking for a guy your height. You're
Also, shout out to Fresh one more time. Get a W in the chat. They just hit a mill, even though all these soy boy haters try to delete them every single day.
not looking for a guy that makes as much money as
I like how he's accusing me of trying to delete them. I made a video talking about their arguments being wrong. I never advocated for them to be banned or deleted. Do you think when people say that men and women are equal, they mean like there is literally no difference between the biological makeup of a female
That's what equal means, dummy.
and a male?
No,
No, it's not. There are different forms of equality. Oh my god. Dude. Holy shit. He actually thinks that's what it means to be equal. There's such a thing as social equality. Do you think that's what they're saying, honestly? No, they're saying that women are equal to men in the sense that they are both autonomous human beings with a capacity to think and process decisions and
Differently. Because of our genetic makeup.
they have sentience and the ability to
They have sentience and their ability.
Bro, your voice is just grating on my ears. Nazi AE said, bro, no one wakes up and says, oh, I want to be like Hunter. Case closed. Hunter, you know that's true. No young
So
boy
true.
wants to be like you. That's why you have superheroes, you have action figures of extremely buff guys. Guys look up to athletes, winners. Every role model for a man.
Interesting how he's explaining guys looking up to athletes and playing with toys that depict men as being buff and large. It's almost like, what it sounds like you're saying is that, generally speaking, being buff and playing sports is sort of perceived as like a masculine thing. Do we all have a gene, Sneako, that says like, since I have a ball sack, I want to play with action figure with big muscles? Is it like, because I have a ball sack, I want to go watch a bunch of dudes kick balls around? Those are, wait for it, socialized. Because masculinity is a social construct. What it means to be masculine has changed throughout history. It used to be radically different than what it is now. Masculinity changes with time. Masculinity changes based on society and social interaction. That is the evidence that it is a social construct.
Guys look up to athletes, winners. Every role model for a man when we're younger is an alpha male. You aren't. Every role model for a man when we're younger is an alpha male.
So you're describing the socialization of masculinity again. Not to mention the whole alpha beta thing has been debunked by the guy who originally posited the theory of alpha and beta when it comes to packs. I think this was studied in wolves originally, and they believe that there was an alpha wolf that led the pack. And the guy that came up with that theory investigated it and then came out and said, no, that's not actually true.
You aren't that. Bottom line, You have in your bio that you used to be a Republican and now you're a social democrat. You spend all your time on Twitter, and you just have less testosterone. Like, if you just accept the fact that you want something that's different, you don't speak for most men.
I never even said that I speak for most men. Like, even he's giving arguments against things that I never said. Yeah, I don't speak for most men. Sure, guys are different and unique, but I'm the one that is willing to recognize that. It's you chuckle fucks and the other dipshits within the fresh and fit community that are constantly saying how men want sex. That's all they want, dude. They just want to fucking leave. That's what men want. You are the people that speak for men. I'm the one who says men should be able to live their lives freely, and men should also be able to express themselves in a healthy manner. That includes expressing emotion, crying, and it's okay for a man to do that. I'm the one advocating for more freedom here. You are the one speaking for men, and you are the one advocating for less freedom. The argument is simply that men and women should be treated equally within the legal system and within society.
And who's better than you?
No, they shouldn't be treated equally in society if we are different. We have different roles, and we offer different things.
Differences doesn't mean that you can't be treated equally.
Since we're different, we can never be equal. So I think this is a lie that feminism.
Oh my God. Because we're different, we can never be equal. Yep, you know what?
That makes perfect sense.
Please let him hear my argument. You realize the danger
He said, "Why you sound like SpongeBob."
of this logic, homeboy? You realize that I could say, well, you know, white and black people are different.
Homeboy sounded racist.
White people are white and black people are black. Because we are different, we can never be equal. Sorry, MLK. Racial equality debunked. Like, really? Does he realize how fucking shallow this quote-unquote logic is? It could just apply to virtually anything. You don't no human is the same. Every human is different from the other human. Well, everybody's different. How can we all be equal? You can recognize human beings as a category and treat them equally within the law and general society. It's not that hard, buddy.
tells women that we are equal. The reality is we aren't.
Sneako just says nothing. I love that. Just silence. You can see from his face that the dipshit argument was just ripped apart in like 3 sentences. And that's true, by the way. Yeah, if you're unironically going to take the approach that because we are different, we can never be equal, that would justify racism.
Because like men want to have sex with as many girls as possible, women want to have sex with the best guy possible. We're very different.
Damn, why is he speaking for all men like that? Surely Sneako will take issue with this, right? Since he just claimed that I was being bad by speaking for all men. Isn't actually necessarily true. There are plenty of men who are more than content having sex with one partner who they are married to. In order to buy into this, I like how he can't even fathom actually being like a mature individual committed to one partner. It's really, really funny. He just laughs. Men being happy in a marriage? What? You know, Sneako, that all available data shows that married men are happier and tend to live longer than single men? Married people are happier than unmarried people across nearly 5 decades of surveys. Data from the GSS shows that 36% of people who have ever been married, including divorced, separated, and widowed people, say they are, quote, very happy, while just 11% are not too happy, compared to 22% and 15% for people who are single. Higher levels of trust and satisfaction among married than cohabitating adults. So you can see that married people have higher rates there. From verywellmind.com, marriage was one of the first non-biological factors identified as improving life expectancy. The explanation given was that married people tend to take fewer risks with their health and have better mental and emotional health. So yes, all available data now shows that married people are happier than singles and unmarried people. And all available research shows that if you are married, you have a much higher likelihood of living longer. Again, benefits for men here, guys. And Sneako is snickering about it. In order to buy into this red pill crap, you need to have an incredibly low opinion of women and men to begin with. You know, men, they literally think with their penis, bro. Like, you're doing the fucking stereotype.
Just admit it. You have less testosterone than anyone sitting at this table. You want to fuck less. It's okay. You're a soy boy.
The real homies, they fuck their bros, okay? How are you getting mad at me for quote-unquote speaking for all men when I say this isn't necessarily true?
5% of inventions were made by men. Women don't build society, men do.
You realize, dude, for the last like hundreds of years, women would have to put male names on their publications in order to even be recognized. If a woman invented something, she had virtually no outlet to even get that invention known or out. Perfect logic right here, guys. This is like saying, you know, men are better swimmers. Did you look back in the 1950s? A man swam across the entire pool.
Men are still better swimmers. What do you...
While the girl nearly drowned. But you leave out the fact that the girl was like handcuffed with her hands behind her back and had her legs tied up and had like a gag in her mouth. And then you just point out the fact that the man was able to swim across the pool. but the woman wasn't, you're like, yeah, men, you know, they're just the best swimmers, bro. Just leave out any of the context. Okay.
Chair
I mean,
table.
are you genuinely trying to say that now that women have equal rights, that they're just as good as swimmers as men? It's
The fact that he thinks that's what I said demonstrates a level of unintelligence that I don't know if I'm even capable of fathoming. I cannot fathom this. Does he think that's what I just said? Is anybody watching here think that's what I just said? First of all, why are women not involved in these things? You realize that
women have not had the opportunity.
years and years, decades, centuries of oppression where women were not taken seriously and seen as lesser than still has an accumulated effect nowadays. It's not just like not pursuing scientific fields because those fields are still perceived as being much more male and masculine.
So do you admit we just skipped the whole part where we were talking about how men and women are built different, and now you're going to say that women are not encouraged to?
You realize that women were integral part of even creating the field of STEM research, Sneako? So you cannot appeal to men and women are different and that's why men are inventing things. Women contributed to STEM. Women helped make that field what it is today. So where were the differences, bruh? Why weren't those women off breastfeeding instead of contributing to STEM research? Now, STEM and the sciences in general are seen as more masculine. That means that less women are going to pursue those fields because of the perception. Your whole thing is change your appearance, make your perception. You're talking this whole time about how I have low T or whatever, I'm a soy boy, because of the perception you have of me. And now you're going to turn around and say that the perception of some of these career fields have nothing to do with the choices women make as to whether or not to pursue those career fields? You're actually fucking brain dead.
I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. He just mad that he doesn't get any. Well, yeah, he was calling us incels.
This is literally a way to... Oh my god, like how do they even say that? But I don't get it.
I don't think I'm going to recover from this one, guys. Here I used to think that I was at least partially an alpha, but now I just saw Sneako absolutely obliterate everything, every argument that I've made by pointing out that I talk funny and look weird. I'm just not going to be able to recover from this. The amount of big brain intellect is too much. I'm out of my league here. I'm out of my depth. Neanderthal 123, aka Sneako, told me I look weird and sounded like SpongeBob. I'm done. I give up. I quit. Well, there you guys have it. That is Sneako debunking all of my arguments by not actually refuting a single thing I've said and making fun of my appearance and then saying, you have low testosterone, bro, which in and of itself is kind of weird because I have no idea why a big tough alpha male would care so much about other men's testosterone. Maybe I'm just not his type, you know? But there you guys have it. That was Sneako calling me out, if that's what you want to call it, making a fool of himself and being a massive cock.